Hi everyone, Ben Colby, Teen Librarian, Enoch Pratt. This is the advanced version of how to create a 3D mold for a candle. Now in the intermediate video, we created these two, and I did say that I would show you two ways to put text on. I could change this one, for example, to get rid of that, and I can go to the shape generator. That's what I was talking about. It's a featured shape generator in the first page, custom font text. And it's text that you can wrap around the outside. Just be really careful about how it cuts into the outside. We need to keep these details shallow on the outside. They can't cut in very much or stick out very much. And let me show you this mold again that we tried. This one failed because it was too sharp. Okay, so you need details that are less than this. And I showed you the basket one in the beginner video if you watched that, which was better. So where am I going with this? I'm not going to go through and do the wrapped text. You can imagine how it would fit on there. And you could do two different sides if you wanted the sides to be different. But I am going to just delete that for now. Because I want to try a different version of this. I want to try a better version of this screw shape because I think it's pretty cool. And actually, I would love to start with the mold. I'm just going to delete this one. I'd love to start with the mold that I created in the intermediate video that uses a polygon cutout. So check that out if you're interested. But I'm starting with this interesting shape, and I'm going in the all shape generators. Let's see if I can find that screw shape. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so it's actually right here in the featured ones on page 1, isometric thread. And let's see, I want to adjust this. Let's just make it, stretch it until it looks roughly like a candle. And by the way, my dimensions for this so far are 70 across. The inside diameter is around 50. The height is going to be around 75. I have 75 for the entire mold, so the candle would be just slightly less. And so I want this to shrink down to about that size, less than 70. And right, and so this is just so I can, I don't need more of those, but I do. Oh, that makes it smoother. That's interesting. The pitch, oops, okay. The tip scale. All right, so that's pretty good. I could keep messing with this if I wanted to, but it's at, 71. And let me, again, just to kind of get the size right without having to measure anything, it's important that I don't cut this out all the way. I don't want my candle to be shaped like this. I just want the edges of this to overlap a little bit. So let's just do that work of overlapping it. And I can tell it needs to be a little bigger, and I'm using Shift. And, I want to try to line, there we go. Yeah, I want this line in the middle to be exactly lined up with the mold. So it looks like, yeah, I still have to make it bigger. That might be too much. How's that look? Oh, not bad, not bad. So I'm not going all the way in, but just the edges are cutting out this time. And I think I do have it centered. Let's just see what this looks like when I turn it into a hole. You can see the shadows going around the outside. Very cool. I like that. So that will overlap with the patterns that are already there. And I'm just going to lift this off the ground because, again, I need to keep a bottom. I guess it's fine if it overlaps slightly because the bottom is flat of this shape. Group it, see what happens. Cool. I really like this, and I think that the grooves are shallow enough that we're not going to have any problems with the candle splitting apart in the mold. If I wanted to be extra sure, I guess I would, yeah, let's just do that. I'm going to ungroup it. Let's just be extra sure. What are my dimensions here? I just want to shrink them by a tiny amount. 70.5, let's take that to 70.0. And 51. Oh, wait, no, you know what? Undo that because I just warped it. Hold Shift and then shrink it just a tiny bit. And I may need to adjust my grid adjustment or change, oops, I have both selected. I just changed the size of both at the same time, my mistake. Yeah, I have to have only this one selected. Okay, gosh, undo. All right, so it's 50 by 50. So let's just take that to a tiny, tiny bit less, 49.5 by 49.5. And I think we're doing a little bit better here. How about 49.0? I said I would move fast in the first video, but I'm going so slow. How about this? I like it. Anyway, you get the idea. I could keep making adjustments if it seems like it's a little bit too sharp, but I think that's good, actually. I don't think we're going to have any problems with the candle letting go of that. Let me just quickly run through and show you more shape generators that might be of interest to you. Okay, this could be very useful. It's even called useful gear. Coincidentally, there's also this metric gear that might work for you. Custom gear, where you can change all the settings. The flower is not bad. You can change all the settings on that. This end-lobe concave would give you a kind of weird shape that's different on the top and the bottom. But I think you could make that a shallow enough shape that it would work. And this one's great, the twisted polygon, which is on page 7. You can change all the settings, how many points, how much of a twist, etc. That would be a great cutout to use as a candle. And there's definitely at least one more that I want you to know about. Oh yeah, the cog ring, that's not what I meant, but that's another one. And here, cog ring is cool because you can actually adjust the shape manually. It's the basket weave pattern that I'm looking for. And a circular array is another one. You can create a circular array of shapes that cut in a certain way. And you can actually, in the circular array, if you use a custom profile, then you can actually just change the shape of whatever that thing is. So you can change the cutout. Tube joint is a great one to use. But I'm going to show you the weave curve, right? Weave curve. Hitting F to zoom in. If you change the curve angle on this from 90 all the way up to 360, it should give you a full circle, I think. Yeah, it gives you a full circle. It looks a little weird because you need to change these settings. But this is how I created that other mold with the basket weave pattern on it. You just want to make sure that there's no space for the wax to get underneath here. So you have to have you would wrap this around a cylinder, basically. And I'm not going to show you that, but yeah, I would basically just rotate it and just have part of it lining up with the outside. So you have a lot of really good shape generators here that you could use to cut patterns out. And I wish you luck.